always the stupid ones, you know. I always hurt myself the worst doing stupid things. My first real bad accident was in middle school. I had just gotten my first like real BMX bike. My neighbor was a little bit younger than me, so he wasn't really allowed to leave the neighborhood. So I was just like pedaling around the block with him a little bit, and I went to go jump on this ledge that was too low, and my bike just kind of looped out, and I like flew back, and like my elbow like hit the ground, and I like broke my humerus bone. Ended up having to have surgery. I had to get a screw put in, and now I'm reminded of it every time it rains. My name's Sam Arsis. I ride BMX. I like to shoot photos. Yeah, I've moved other places. I lived in Scranton, Pennsylvania for a really short time. I lived in Attleboro for a little bit, Providence for a little bit, but I mean, I'm in Central Falls right now, but that's pretty much Pawtucket. Yeah, most of my family is in Pawtucket. My older sister moved to Wisconsin a few years ago, and then just this November, my mom sold her house and moved out to Wisconsin.
Hi, Mom.
My younger sister lives in Providence. We hang out pretty often, a couple times a week. Photography has been more of an outlet for me lately, but I still love riding my bike. You know, could be having a terrible day, and just like as soon as I get on my bike and start cranking down the street, it's like everything just gets left behind. Yeah, just the feeling that it gives me. I always had a bike growing up. I had this little Huffy 16-inch that was neon green and blue, and it was like really like early 90s looking. When I like grew a little bit, they bought me a mountain bike for Christmas. Like the neighborhood kids and I, we started like, I don't know if they'd done road work, and like they messed up one of the curbs, but it was perfect for us because it was like a little ramp. I used to like jump off that and so you could go like the farthest and the highest. I was a kid that lived at the end of the street, and my father knew his parents. My father did some work on their car. He had this all, like it was a chrome, it was like a racing BMX bike. And it was all chrome, it was a GT with all dyno parts. I rode it a couple times and I thought the bike was so cool, so my father told him, hey, instead of like paying me for those repairs, give my son that bike. So I rode that bike for a while, and then the summer going from 6th grade into 7th grade, I was hanging out with my buddy. The DK dirt circuit was on. It was a dirt jumping competition. I was just amazed, you know. I love jumping off curves, but I didn't know that there was like this whole culture. And so as soon as it was over, I was like, where can we go do this? We went to this little dirt mound. It was just a little dirt hill, and we jumped it for hours, and we would go back there all the time. And then like over by his house, they had leveled the land to build some like garages, and so they were like dumping a bunch of dirt there and made these little mounds, and we like would shovel them and like kind of make it a little track. We didn't know what we were doing. You know, it's where it all started for me. Like we had a lot of fun. You know, one of the first things I was taught when I went to a skate park when I was a kid was park etiquette. You know, like, you know, take turns, don't get in anybody's way, be respectful. You know, and yeah, it's very diverse. Meet people from all different races, all different subcultures. Like BMX isn't inclusive in that sense, you know. It's anybody is welcome, and like that's the cool thing about it, because like, you know, you could be like, we've just been riding around the city and like see other people riding, and you end up hanging out with them and like riding around, and it's a cool way to get to know people. You know, I met a lot of good people. It's a very positive community. I know tons of people in Rhode Island. Like the scene is pretty big in Rhode Island. You know, from street riders to park riders to the dirt riders, but it's just still that common bond of like enjoying riding a little BMX bike, you know? As far as like hanging out and riding, it's, I don't know, I feel like me personally, it's kind of just somebody wants to ride, then like, we go ride. I mostly ride with my sister nowadays. My sister got into BMX a few years ago, which has been really cool. She still likes to give me a hard time that I never taught her how to ride a bike when she was a kid. And you know, like I've had lifelong friends that I've met through this. I don't know where I'd be without this, you know, like it's crazy to think about.